not Tina, not Victor. And what's up with those voices Karolina's hearing and AWOL? He is a bad man. We got a very special guest from Pride joining us again, so stick around for the Marvel's Runaways after show on AfterBuzz TV.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
I've been watching you for some time.
Oh, long. Whoops. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Marvel's Runaways After Show on AfterBuzz TV. I'm your host, Ollie Drennan. That's Billie Eilish with Ocean Eyes, which was an amazing song, played season 1 with the iconic kiss from Nico and Karolina. I'm joined with an amazing panel. We got the marvelous Mina.
Hey, everyone.
We have the fantastic Chae Jones.
Hey, guys.
We have the magical, Meagan Lynn over here.
Hey, y'all, what's up?
And we have a very special guest, the intelligent, the beautiful, the talented Brittany Ishibashi with us.
Hello, what an intro. Thank you, guys.
How are you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me. It's nice to be back.
I know, it's been a long time. It's been a year.
It's been a year. A lot has happened
Yes.
in this past year, you guys.
So you have to fill us in. How's it been? This has been such a huge year for you with season 2.
I was going to say personally or like Tina?
Both. Because we're going to talk about
both, because you also had your daughter on Runaways too, so we have to talk about that.
Yeah, baby Nico. Is my real life daughter.
Oh my gosh. Well, today we're covering, thank you again for joining us. We're covering episodes 9 and 10, Big Shot and Hostile Takeover. So guys, what are your initial thoughts on these episodes? Because like with every single one of these episodes, so much happens.
AWOL is AWOL is my big takeaway from this. He's all over the place, and I already knew we couldn't trust him, but he's playing every single side of this game, so I'm really curious to see where that ends up with him.
Definitely.
I mean, we find out what happens. It gets biblical, but I mean, I'm just saying, I got a little biblical for Nico today. I was just thrown. Everything just had me. Just things I thought I knew, just now changing. And I'm just like, I don't even know what to think anymore about the parents. I'm scared for these kids now. That's all I have to say.
Mina, what do you think?
I mean, this keeps getting better and better, and that's why I was just saying behind the scenes, when are we going to have a season 3? Because it's so good, and I haven't even finished it yet, but I still, just want a season 3 promised already.
I know.
But I guess the major takeaway, and I felt this last episode too, is that, there's no such thing as a villain, there's no such thing as a hero. Everyone just has their own special interests, even with Jonah. He's not necessarily good or bad. Everyone just has their own personal motive and their own special interests. So it's so hard to just say that this person is good or bad, or that AWOL is a horrible person when he's looking out for his own self-interest. What makes him worse than the Pride?
He's a little questionable. He's more questionable than everyone else, though.
Because he's only looking out for himself and not anyone else. I understand when your family's at stake or someone you love is on the line, but it's just him.
He shot he didn't shoot her, but he shot towards a pregnant lady. But I totally agree with what
And a baby, a newborn baby.
Oh, that's right. The baby was already born. But yeah, no, I totally love what you said, Mina. Everyone, you can kind of see where everyone has a motive. And even with Jonah, we could kind of sympathize with him last week with him just doing all the sacrifices in order to Karolina to recognize him when
and have that connection for her to know more about where she comes from. Who she is.
I'm interested in what was your at this moment, Pride is disbanded. What was your kind of
Pride is never disbanded.
Quotations, air quotes for podcast listeners. What was kind of your motivation for Tina at this point now that what does she exactly want to do with episode 9? Because clearly, the last conversation she had with Nico was when Nico said, go to sleep.
Yeah, and then we all... By the way, I have some really funny gifs of all of us falling asleep that I'm going to try and share on social media at some point. But in our crazy night shoots. Well, we're really talking about 2 different Tinas, right?
Yes. This is true. Oh my gosh. So it's even...
So, after this big explosion at the site, I feel like Tina doesn't quite feel like herself. She doesn't feel right. She doesn't know what it is. And I think for her, it's more like, there was all this stuff flying around. I should probably go check out. I have some kind of weird radioactive. I have some cancer or something bizarre, because she knows something's definitely off. She definitely, at this point, she still wants to just get Nico home and get her family back together. But she's not quite all there. And then you have the introduction of other Tina.
Other Tina.
Other Tina, who is so much fun.
Who loves
Cake.
and sugar and the dopamine and
And
everything.
she just loves this world, right? She just wants to kind of like get in there and feel and just see what it's all about. So that's a fun battle between those two.
Was that difficult to kind of play with? Because obviously, not only that, on top of that, the Minors and the Steins are working together now. So that's like a huge issue, obviously, with the past relationship between Janet and Robert. So like, and you're an alien? Air quotes again. So, you got it. What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on? I know. It's, it's complicated. And I think it's fun playing it. When we were doing it, we also were kind of figuring it out, like we didn't really know who these aliens were, and so it was fun to watch it for the first time and see how it was all cut together and say like, oh, they chose the really playful take, and to kind of see who. Wait, what do we know in 10 already? I'm going to be careful I don't spoil anything.
All we know is not Victor and not Tina.
And I'm gonna throw out not Stacy.
Not Stacy.
Oh, absolutely not
Those
Stacey.
glasses.
She took them off.
Took those glasses off.
She's a different
She
woman.
gets scary. She's scary.
And props to Bridget too, because like she's such a fun-loving, like Stacey. You think, she's so like not ditzy, but like she's so eccentric.
Bohemian.
Yeah, exactly.
And so like hippie-like, but then she's scaring me. I don't know about y'all, but
Go
she's
make me a snack.
I love
I was kind of no lie. I was
Damn.
kind of here for that.
Yeah.
You know, redefining gender roles. Let's be real.
Yep.
But also, I'm still scared. So.
No, she's fantastic. And it was funny because Bridget and I would talk, because we knew about each other, but we didn't know anything else. And so wait, can I talk about this? Can I talk about, we're establishing that Bridget is not
Totally.
Bridget,
She's
yeah.
acting weird.
Yeah.
She's not Stacey.
Yeah.
So we were told by Quentin on the middle of our night shoots. He says, "Look, some stuff's going to happen. You're going to find out in the next few episodes. A few of you are going to have a really fun adventure coming up, and I'm just going to pull you aside and just kind of talk to you and just keep it hush hush. Do not tell anyone anything after I talk to you. You just that's it." And so Bridget and I were just laughing because at one point Bridget was like, "Yeah, I was talking to Quentin and he told me not to say anything, and then I saw him talking to you and I was like, well, Brittany's definitely got something going on." But it was fun to figure out who, our types are so opposite of who we've been playing for the past season and a half. And for her, I know she had a big issue with like how much clothing Stacey wears. She's always wearing so many layers and tunics and like sweaters and things. And she was trying to figure out this other character and felt weighed down by all of this fabric. And I feel like for Tina, she's always so pulled back and so severe and so put together. And to be able to let her hair down and like not have that headache
Oh my
constantly and
gosh.
just like shake that out just feels good.
And she was like not messing, but kind of playing around with Janet.
Oh, I
at
thought,
that
I thought she was feeling Janet up.
I was
I'm
like, is she
here we go.
flirting?
Okay, I see. So everybody gonna get a taste of Janet today. Go ahead.
Right?
I'm just like Ever is amazing and beautiful. I'm just like, okay, but Janet's just getting everybody like.
Maybe they pump like pheromones into the lab or something. Maybe she did something like,
Poor Janet. She just was so confused at this point because also she made love with Victor.
And he's like,
and then Victor's like, what are you talking about? We didn't make love. So
you know how important a clean lab is. I love that line. Love that line.
And then I was kind of confused. I was like, oh wait, did she sleep with Victor or not Victor?
Oh, that is a great
So
question.
it's like, what's going on?
I feel like it would
That
be
is so
not
interesting.
Victor because I feel like what we're getting from Stacey and Tina so far is that these not versions of themselves are a little bit more like sexier and more adventurous, more feminist and bold, like with the "make me a snack" line. So I feel like Victor, with whatever his not version self is, would also be along the same lines of more adventurous because he and Janet haven't really had a relationship yet since they got back together after he was unconscious.
Yeah.
Although how beautiful were those flashback scenes? Like
Yeah.
they were so gorgeous.
In a way, it almost made me feel like this was like the Victor who she fell in love with, whoever is playing Victor now. That's kind of the adventurous side that we're seeing. That person he was before all the stress and obligations and responsibilities came through.
Yeah.
So I really loved that part of Victor, even though I was just like, dude, really? I just told you we made love and you're worried about a clean lap. I would think you would have more questions. I'm just saying.
It's just so weird because also then we have to also take in consideration of Karolina because she's hearing voices. So I'm like, okay, what are you guys' thoughts on this? Because this is really weird that now that parents are acting up and now Karolina is getting these weird voices in episode 9. So what are your guys' thoughts on that?
It felt reminiscent of Harry Potter to me when Harry has this connection with Voldemort and always hears his voice in her head.
Do you think?
So there has to be like, she probably is like weirdly connected to, oh my god,
Jonah.
Yeah, Jonah, but also
Savin.
Tina's daughter.
Oh, I was guessing.
In a way, like I just feel like she has different connections to everyone because she's not human. That she has like the
what
ability
she's able to hear and
to
everything. It's like,
hear their thoughts. Maybe she really did want her to come, so it's like an extra ability or sixth sense or power that we have to figure out. I was just like trying to piece that together.
At first, I didn't really think anything of it. I thought maybe Nico had said something under her breath and she heard it, or I guess maybe she's reading her mind or something. I thought it was some sort of like interrelational thing, kind of that Gert has with Old Lace. I don't know, something along those lines.
Couples do have that telepathy, you know?
But then at the end of episode 10, we heard Jonah's voice. As who was it? Victor was hanging up the signs with the code to try to attract these not other alien people versions. So I was wondering if it was somehow related to Jonah, and it wasn't really anyone's voice; it was his voice disguised.
I love this, you guys. I love this.
The theories of it all.
What do you know that we don't know? That's what I want to know. What does she know?
Well, before we move on to our next topic, our girl Mina has something to tell y'all. This is very important. We love you guys, and we hope that you love us back. And Mina just has to shed some light for you real quick.
Yeah, we just wanted to say thank you so much for helping us become the ESPN of TV talk. And for us to continue to grow, we could definitely use your help. So if you're on YouTube right now, which I know a lot of you guys are in the chat, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And if you're on iTunes listening to us, please give us a 5-star rating. But no matter where you guys are, leave us a comment so you can get involved in the conversation. Being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to all of us, and we truly appreciate you supporting us and doing what we love. So don't forget to tell your friends and keep enjoying our shows.
Yes, thank you for that, Mina. Yes, and if you are tuning in the chat live, let us know your questions for Brittany. She'd love to answer them.
And either Tina.
Yeah, there are actually like a bunch of people who have a lot of questions for you.
What are they saying?
Nicholas Kelly wants to know, how does Dale not know his wife long enough to realize that, you know, this isn't her, or that this isn't a regular Tina? I mean, seriously, you know, Tina's never like this. And I was kind of wondering that too, like, how are they not really being that perceptive with that?
Right, like, how is Robert like, something's really wrong with you? Yeah.
Nothing against guys for this comment, but they're guys.
I also
like I
feel
said, nothing against.
I feel like part of it is that in Dale and Stacey's relationship and in Tina and Robert, the women both definitely wear the pants. So, like, when they start taking charge, they both just kind of, like, back up.
Right.
Like, she told him to go make her a snack, and Dale was like,
Got
okay,
it.
like, what do you want?
Dealer's choice, you know.
I'm just worried for the Runaways because also we have the topic of the Pride wanting to combat the kids. Like, we still want them back by force, kind of, which is
we've asked them nicely several times,
and they put you to sleep.
Yeah,
like,
so I mean,
without
they're really
permission.
leaving us no choice.
So, but it's like,
But I mean, there is something just very wrong with that. I'm not gonna be frank.
I'm just nervous.
You should be.
But who also made me nervous was AWOL.
Yes.
Yeah.
AWOL, he flipped the script. He ended up killing Flores. Poor Flores. But then again, I also was just like, Flores, he just wants a check at the end of the day, so he's not that great of a guy. But AWOL flipped the script, and then we had this crazy scene of at the restaurant where Alex, I'm looking at him sideways because Alex isn't really telling the Runaways all the info that they need to be on the same page. And obviously we've been dealing with miscommunication all season. So the rest of the Runaways are looking at him like, hey, why are you going behind our back?
Yeah,
You're
we
getting
talked
us
about this. Yeah.
Getting us in danger. And then this leads to the crazy standoff. Oh my gosh. What did you guys think about the standoff? Poor Nico.
I know.
Your daughter. She was just going through it this episode
She was working hard.
to conceal the base.
I know.
Like,
How cool were those effects too? Like that was all cool to see when it all came together.
That was really
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my thing for Alex. I think because Alex thinks that because he's been in Compton for a couple of days, he's hanged out with Darius. He feels like he knows what's really about. And I'm like, Darius might have told you things that you should know, but he didn't tell you everything you need to know. Because there's a difference. Mm-hmm. You don't just roll up on cops in a public place, especially when they're
Corrupt
crooked.
cops.
Yeah, especially when they're crooked cops at that.
You do not touch their curry goat. I learned that lesson.
Yeah, you don't touch their food.
Yeah.
Don't make sudden movements, and unless you really have something big enough to bargain with, don't unless you can really defend yourself in a way where the guns won't be turned on you. Mm-hmm. It could have been a very smart way for him to have done that and still get what he needed to get from AWOL.
Yeah.
At the same time, I feel like.
I feel like his ego is really getting in the way of everything, in the way of his relationship with Livy, in the way of his relationship with his friends. I feel like some of that might stem from his father kind of acting like the big man on campus with the pride. And as a parent, I don't know if he gets some of that from him, but it's definitely really getting in the way of his judgment because he thinks he can strike a deal with AWOL and he's a crooked cop. He's on no one's side but his own and not getting himself put in jail.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's just missing the obvious. Like, they're like, we'll go to someone who's like a district attorney or whatever. I don't know what connection he had with AWOL there. But I'm like, why aren't we going to the FBI? Why aren't you taking it up to the next level? I mean, this is like corrupt, like crime circles running
Why
amok.
are you not contacting agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Totally agree with that one.
I think when, we've already noticed that people in positions of power abuse that power. And if they don't trust their own parents, if they don't trust the police, what would make them trust the FBI, let alone agents?
What would make them trust AWOL?
I know.
I would go to the FBI before I went to AWOL.
But I do think that in Alex's defense, I wonder if he knew that Nico had his back because of the whatever that's called.
Staff of one.
Yeah.
I mean, he's very cocky, right? He just kind of like assumes that it's all going to be taken care of. It's also youth, right?
Yeah.
And
I see him even more as the baby of the group than I do Molly, even though she's the youngest, because I feel like he's really naive.
She had to knock him down, literally, from stopping to do anything reckless. And I was like,
amazing.
yes, because I feel like Alex at this point, things have kind of been going in his favor recently. So he's kind of on this power trip, especially, his experience with Darius, which you guys brought up. And he just like wants to bring down his parents so bad. And I'm like, dude.
Blinded,
Hold on. Like, this power trip for sure.
He has rose-colored glasses.
And I feel like he does really care about Livy because poor Livy was the hostage in the situation. So he was like, I'm going to get my girl back. Yeah. So he was just angry. He was like pushing.
I was going to say, but the thing with anger, if you let it rule you,
which I think it's doing to him.
It's the whole revenge trip she's talking about. You're so focused on destroying your parents, destroying the other kids' parents, that you're not even seeing the big picture. You keep talking about a bigger picture, but you're missing it. And you're going to miss out on a lot of things by focusing on anger and revenge that don't benefit you.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting that Livy said right before she left the house and possibly broke up with Alex, or at least separated from him for the time being, that she needed to take care of her family and he needed to take care of his. Because I wasn't sure if that was in reference to the Runaways or to his actual family. Because I feel like more than any of the other Runaways, his relationship with his parents is truly severed.
We also have to worry about Nico. That staff. Your staff, originally your staff of one that doesn't.
No, it's fully hers.
It doesn't work for you anymore. And then, I love the moment we brought up last week when you just smiled when you saw her come down from the whole
tornado.
The dig site. So, and that was still Tina, right? I feel like that was the original Tina.
She was like, we're very alike. I knew she had it in her. Yeah.
So what are our thoughts on this staff? The staff seems to be taking control of Nico. And did you see the eyes?
I mean,
the scary eyes. Like that wasn't her makeup, and her makeup is always on point.
Yeah.
But that was something else.
Something wrong with
that was some darkness.
I was wondering if it was almost like an overdose kind of reaction, kind of like we saw with Topher when he was using kind of like that liquid to inject himself with Molly's kind of powers. I don't know. It seemed definitely like she had overdosed or overused her powers to an extent because it's literally completely fatiguing her to the point where she's passing out.
Right.
All these unanswered questions. And then we have Frank, Shady Frank, turning on Leslie in episode 10. Poor Leslie. I mean, she just... we don't even know what happened to her. Like, and then what's his face? I forgot Vaughn. Vaughn didn't do anything.
Well, Vaughn just cares about her so much. He cares about that family. He thought he was doing what was right.
Yeah, but the thing, I'm not gonna even touch Vaughn because I just wanted to. Because you're only hearing half, like especially when you're listening through like a glass door, you're only even hearing half the conversation. You're not hearing the full conversation, and though you believe what you're doing is right, I thought like you're supposed to be on my side. That was the whole point. Like that's why you're my assistant. You're not anybody else's assistant. You're mine. You're supposed to be on my side. You turn me over to my culty husband who is tripping on power.
Yeah.
I think the message of the 2 episodes were just power tripping.
And also nothing, and also nothing ever really dies. We're seeing kind of like Frank wanting to make his own Pride because he was left out of Pride. Y'all were just like, sorry, Frank, you're a loser. Nope.
I mean,
he doesn't have what it takes to be like in Pride. I can actually see
fortitude.
Yeah, I can see why you guys kicked him out. But like now, because you kicked him out, it's in whatever Jonah did to him. Yeah, it's creating a monster of Jonah's and David's making because he's believing so much in this word. But like she said, it is not real. I understand you want it to be real, but dude, it's not. This is all fake. This is all an illusion.
Well, to end on a positive note, at least, Chase did kind of save Gert this episode 10, where he was like, don't give the medicine to Gert, give it to Old Lace, because if you give it to Gert, then Old Lace is going to die, because Stacy, crazy Stacy, she turned on her own child and dinosaur by releasing like the sickness pheromone thing, which was ridiculous.
Sickness
pheromone thing. And so I think that we can really tell that Chase like loves Gert, and that was really sweet. So like I ship them so hard even more now.
I know. I love when Dale said he cares more about your daughter than you do. I was like,
yep.
And it's like you were saying at that point, Dale, this is not your wife. I'm sorry. When like you needed like a bell to be rung. Ding ding ding. This is not your wife. She's not here for you.
Nope.
I don't even know what to do with that no more. That was like the biggest.
Just throws the coaster.
This is you're not my wife.
I feel like whatever this thing, alien being, is that's possessing Dale or using him as a host body, decided that, or not Dale, possessing Stacy, I think decided that very pointedly because Dale will not fight back against her.
Yeah.
Oh.
I want to see that one moment where he actually does. I feel like that would be a nice turn for also Dale as a man and as a like. I'll let you wear the pants because you're good at it, but I feel like now I have to take over and protect our daughter from you.
We have seen some good. I mean, there have been some good moments for Dale. I feel like through season 1 and stuff where you saw him like. I mean, it was kind of scary.
With the train gun,
right?
And then he was like, "Enough, Gert," in season 1. So it's in him.
It's there.
And also, it's like he's scared because, or he's just intimidated because he's not used to this. From Stacy, he's not used to. They have such a good relationship. I love them.
And they're all love. They're
not used to this combative. I can't say the word combative nature from Stacy or each other. So hold your predictions, get them ready. But before we do our predictions or anything else, we got to get more questions for Brittany. She's here. So anything in the live chat? Any other questions for her?
Ivan Soto wants to know for Brittany, if you loved using your real life martial arts skills on the show.
Because correct me if you're wrong, you're a black belt in Taekwondo.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And Lyrica's a black belt in karate. James has 2 black belts, I believe.
God.
Oh my God.
Or a double black belt in one and a black first degree black belt in another. And so we all of season 1 we're like, are we gonna get to like do something? And so it's this season we've had a lot of fun with it. And it's just cool also because Lyrica is like an insane rhythmic gymnast. And so to see her do all these things and she bends in impossible Cirque du Soleil shapes. I don't know if she has like an actual like spinal, like it's amazing. It's amazing. But it's cool. And then also with people you trust so much, you can just really just let loose and play with it. It's super fun.
It's just, oh, sorry, honey. That was just a love tap, Sorry if I punched you by accident.
But then also, like, how does the Minoru family all know how to fight? Like, was this like after school activities? Did we all have like a dojo in the house and just
We already saw some of that in episode 2 between you and Nico, and then you kind of took over that fight. So I'm hoping we get more of that.
Yeah. What has been your favorite scene to shoot of what we've seen so far of season 2? Up until episode
Up till 10.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Up until 10.
Because they're after her
Second favorite?
That is funny. No, there have been a lot of really fun moments. I loved filming that chocolate cake scene. That was mainly because I love chocolate cake. And it was like, I remember when the script came out, they were like, we wrote this thing, Ashley, and she said, you know, I don't know if are you okay, like, with eating chocolate cake?
What?
I'm sorry. I will eat a whole cake. And so, like, that morning, it was the first scene of the day. It was like 5:30 in the morning, and we had like these 3 beautiful dark chocolate cakes, and I was like, just do this. Do this.
And you're
so
getting
was really
paid for
fun.
this?
Right? Right?
Oh my gosh.
And I took one home.
Free cake?
It was otherwise just going to be left over.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we had a fan on Instagram send in a question earlier. Her name's Alessia. She wanted to know, what's your favorite dessert? Is it chocolate cake?
Well, anything chocolate, really. Anything except for white chocolate, because I don't think white chocolate is real chocolate. I don't think it is.
It's an imposter. It's like fake Tina.
It's just yes. They're like, I don't know about this. Anything chocolate, I'm game.
Nice.
Nicholas Kelly asks, are we going to find out more about the Minoru's magical past with a certain magical neurosurgeon that got Thanos in Avengers 4? So that's his question.
I will say, when I first read the script for 10, and I saw what Nico did with the staff, and all of a sudden the SWAT team was just gone, it gave me a lot of hope.
Yeah.
For what he's referring to. And then also the eyes gave me a lot of hope.
Yeah.
And then what's coming later on in the season gave me a lot of hope. It's really hard to talk non-spoilery things, you guys.
You're doing great.
I'm very hopeful.
There's a lot of people. Nico's eyes kind of remind them of Doctor Strange, the Doctor Strange villain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, now I have to go back and watch Doctor Strange because I don't remember his eyes that well, apparently.
Yeah. A lot. I remember there's a comment last week in our after show. Someone said they really want Tina's backstory. I'm
Yeah.
sorry I forgot your
Yeah.
name, but they're
Just
like, we got to get that Minoru
Queen of
backstory.
Regal.
Somebody just asked that.
Yeah,
Oh, was it?
As you said it.
Hey, the timing of it all. But I have to say also, that gave me chills when Nico said, get out with the eyes. I was like, oh.
It was so, like, seriously, it's like almost biblical, like when, because like, you know, when we're all supposed to go, like you're only everything's gonna be left behind, your clothes, all material possessions, and you're just gonna be gone. And I was like, I don't know what she did, but I know they are not coming back. They is not alive. I don't know where they ended up.
We thought a lot of things weren't coming back.
Yeah.
That definitely helped.
Okay, well, I don't know where she sent them. Maybe they in Antarctica with no clothes.
Oh.
They got out wherever
They're
they
just
went.
out.
They, get out, you got it. And they just left.
Yeah, totally.
I really actually, that's my prediction. We might not see AWOL no more. And I'm actually happy with that.
Well, do you know who else is out? Well, yeah, AWOL's dead, and so is Flores, but we have to go to our comic book corner right now real quick, where we grab something from the comics and translate it to live action form. And speaking of Flores was in the comics, and he played a kind of like a similar, smaller role, but he did something really cool. He was actually the one in the comics that brought Cloak and Dagger into the universe. So, I mean, he's dead now, so he's not going to do that. But I'm still hoping for my Cloak and Dagger crossover with the Runaways. Brittany, is it happening? But also, yeah, but
She's like, no.
actually, AWOL didn't exist in the comics, but Jeffrey was the one who killed Flores in the comics. So they did it a little differently. And also, Catherine shot him at some point in the leg because she was mad at him. But yeah, quick little comment.
Cat.
She's so trifling. Like,
Wow,
She
you actually used the
is.
word trifling.
she killed Darius.
Oh.
She didn't got to do him dirty like that.
That
Come
doesn't
on.
make her trifling. That just makes her gangsta.
I
True.
feel like there's this
Yeah.
constant battle between Tina and Catherine being the HBIC of the group.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Absolutely.
are you hashtag team Tina or hashtag Team Catherine?
I feel like
Let
they're
us
gonna
know in the
join
comments and on Twitter.
I feel like Tina and Catherine are gonna join forces at some point, even though it sounds unlikely because of
Yeah, like
Fake
would
Tina.
it? Yeah, which was Tina?
Oh,
I know.
Yeah.
if that would be like a force to be reckoned with, I feel like that would be one of the most
If they
unstoppable.
had the
duos.
same goal, I feel like absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think the hard part would be them deciding which plan they should take. 'Cause, like,
Yeah.
if they had
Yeah.
the same plan, then cool. Yeah, they're gonna take over the
But
world.
they're both so powerful and dominant, and they have their own idea of what the right path is.
See you.
And when Ever was here last week, she said, "I just want a Pride Ladies Night. Like that's what I hope for in season 3."
How hilarious would that?
I don't
be to
know
get the
how.
Pride ladies together.
But y'all need to work together, like, and do something fun. You know?
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
dancing.
Fake Tina and fake Stacy.
Oh my gosh, that
Drunk.
would be hilarious.
It has to happen.
Like I've never tasted alcohol. But what is this? Why is it pink? Why is it blue? What is this cherry? I can just
another
imagine.
one.
I can just imagine all the. Oh my gosh, it would be everything.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Well, okay. We got to get to our special giveaway. Or no, not our giveaway yet. Stay tuned at the end. We want you to listen to the whole damn podcast, okay? We got to get to our news and gossip. Courtesy of Meagan Lynn.
I know. I'm so excited. So we've been talking about a Cloak and Dagger crossover for a while, and Marvels did post on Twitter this photo with Greg Sulkin and Aubrey Joseph. If you're listening on the podcast, go check it out on their Twitter. And it said they did a special shoot that day. So
I
does that
know.
mean we can expect a crossover?
Are we looking at me?
Yes.
Yes.
A little bit.
Spill it.
I did see that picture. I was not a part of that. What else can I say? You guys this is tricky. This is all very tricky. Guys, it's all very tricky. I would love that crossover. And it makes sense. I know.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying on that.
Okay.
She didn't spill the beans, but it's okay. It's okay. We still love you, Brittany. What else do you got for us, Megan?
We're holding on for that. Also, we are holding out for a season 3. The creators actually said recently in an interview that they would love to have Tina and Nico's family featured more in their backstory, and also what exactly the staff of One is. Where would you like to see your family go in the future? Do you hope for them to get back together? What would that look like?
I feel like Brittany would like to see them get back together. And then I think OG Tina wants to obviously see her family back together. New Tina, I think,
Wants cake.
just wants cake and to feel things and go exploring. But I absolutely would love to kind of just see more. I mean, they're such a fascinating family, and it's also so cool to see like a Japanese American family on TV. And I just want to know more. But like, I have so many questions about how they grew up, you know, and you know, for me, I feel like playing Tina, she always puts so much energy on Amy.
Yeah.
And then when Amy was killed by Jonah, all of a sudden she was like, "Oh right, I have another daughter." And I think there's gonna be a really interesting story too, watching how they both kind of deal with Nico coming into her own power and what that looks like, and if she can be saved.
We haven't really seen much from Tina and Robert recently either, and especially with fake Tina in the mix now. But where would you like to see that go? Do you think there's hope for their marriage?
I do. I mean, I'm also just like a hopeless romantic, but I do. I mean, I think going back to that moment where like Robert tried to sacrifice himself for Janet, like that really complicated ordeal, and he came up and spoke to her in Japanese and said like, I don't know where we went wrong, but like let's just try and start over. And that all sounds great, and I think Tina's totally up for that. But then there's just life that gets in the way, and pride that gets in the way, you know, and getting your kids, so all that stuff. But I think deep down they know they've done so much together. They want to get back to what worked for them in the first place. And I mean, I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of us, I speak for, well, only myself at least, but like I feel like we do want to see that reunion for some of the kids and some of the parents, you know, because it's like, oh, you just sympathize with them. They really do want their kids.
Yeah.
So it's just
There's
frustrating.
couples that I want back together. Like, I really want Tina and Robert back together. And there's couples I don't like, Leslie and Frank. Like, please get a divorce immediately.
Different story. Well, that wraps up our news and gossip, right? Thank you so much for that, Megan. That was amazing. I'm hoping for that crossover still.
And
Sorry,
season
wasn't more
3
gossipy.
announcement, please.
And now it's time for Chae Jones to let us shed some light on our giveaway for the season.
Hey guys, so we have so many things to give away this season. We're also going to give away this signed Molly Pop Funko Pop that she signed herself with a lot of her own little doodles as well. It's awesome.
So cute.
And grand prize is going to be this mint condition, The Good Die Young comic book signed by Brittany as well, and Ever and Allegra, and some more people we have coming in this week. It's going to be awesome. So how do you win these prizes, guys? I mean,
How?
it's so simple. So if you're watching us right now on YouTube, write 5 stars and leave a comment on how much you love the show. We love our conversations. We love your theories. They're amazing. And if you're listening to us now on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating and leave a comment. Because as much as we love the 5-star you give us, I can't really know if you're entering if you don't leave a comment. And we will all ship it through to anywhere in the U.S. I love my international folks, but I cannot ship to you. I don't have the monies. But we still love you. Thank you for watching. And that's my segment.
Thank you, Chae.
That's great.
Perfect. I'm excited for that. I like to give away stuff. It's fun. We want to give back.
I
to
want to
you.
do a
car,
giveaway.
You get a car.
Yeah.
You get a car.
Yeah, it's just nice because we really appreciate you guys' like love and support because we love and support you guys as well. So thank you for that, Chae. It's time to get to predictions, right? Let's do it. Here we go.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
Boy. All right. We got 3 episodes left of season 2, right? So what do you guys think? Who wants to go first?
I'll tell you what I think.
Okay.
I don't think AWOL and his men are really gone. I think they're off somewhere. I could anticipate a really funny scene with them with no clothes on, waking up, God knows where, but I just feel like they're not gone.
Okay.
I hope they're gone.
Interesting.
But if they're back, I want to see that showdown. Hopefully Nico is going to be a lot more in herself and not taken over by the dark forces that be. I'm really hoping to see how Leslie is going to get herself out of whatever Frank has planned for her. Hopefully somebody's going to come save her because they got straps. So you can't really get yourself out of your straps by yourself.
Okay.
So that's me right now. I just think his insanity is going to even get higher. I don't know what that looks like, but it's going to be even probably better than I can imagine.
Okay. All right, Mina, what do you think?
1 second, let me tap into my inner.
Channel your
I feel like I'm like reading,
Professor Xavier.
reading your mind right now. Okay, I'm getting it. I'm getting something. Wait.
The mentalist Mina.
Yeah, I'm getting something right now. So far, like what it has been communicated to me is that someone is gonna find out that you are not the real Tina, and someone will find out that Stacy is not the real Stacy. Who that person is, I'm not quite sure yet. But it might even be yourselves when you realize that you were in some strange trance. And maybe you and Stacy get together and realize that something is going on since both of you are so self-aware. Especially Stacy being a scientist, I feel like she might realize that something has possessed her. And Dale being observant, I feel like he might think the same. Because there's no way that both these husbands are just going to fly over their head. Like, I just don't see that happening.
Maybe Dale, I don't think Robert. Maybe.
I would think more Robert than Dale, just
Really?
because Dale has a stronger relationship to Stacy than Robert does with his wife. That's the only reason I think Dale would
Like
figure
they're
it out
rediscovering each other
Yes.
again. Yeah.
Yes. So
I think
maybe
it would
Robert would just think it's a different side
Like
of you.
she's doing the underwear thing again. He's like, what?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think it'd be hilarious if Tina had like some sort of an allergic reaction, like she's like gluten free or like lactose intolerant to all the chocolate cake,
Oh,
and she's
no.
like, "What am I doing?"
I'm covered in hives. What's happening?
Yeah, I just wonder because how do you combat that? How do you combat that inner self that's trying to take over you, that host, whatever that is, and like when is it gonna completely take over you? So
See,
it's
it's like
Or
Venom.
is it going to completely take over her? That's
Exactly,
also the question.
that's
so
like-
much Marvel.
what the heck? And then when Cloak and Dagger gonna come in? I know they're in Louisiana, and you know the Runaways and the Pride are in LA, but we can figure something out.
That's close.
Yeah.
Brittany,
Road trip.
what do you think's
Great.
gonna happen? Or any last thoughts about this season up until now?
It's been a lot of fun.
Okay.
So no, but
What do you have to tell the people who haven't seen the episodes yet? Like, what's in store?
who haven't seen
Yes.
the rest of the season
Like
yet?
these three.
Like these three?
Yeah.
Hold on to your seats, ladies. It's really fun because it felt like, with the episode 7 with like the big spaceship thing and all the crazy night shoots was really our mid-season finale. Like, it feels like 1 through 7 was one season, and I feel like this is a whole other, and it really starts to pick up even more speed.
Yeah.
So much happens covering this, what was just predicted, in just 3 episodes. So it's like you could easily binge all 3 at once.
Yeah, it feels like it's like two different, like a comic. It feels like a comic book, like 2 separate runs in a season. So it's really cool, bringing this comic book to life. Unfortunately, we do have to wrap up. I'm really sad. I'm going to start crying soon. But thank you guys so much for joining us. And Brittany, thank you as well.
This was so fun.
You're going to come back for season 3, right?
Yes.
In studio? Perfect. Yes, okay.
We're getting a season 3. I'm gonna call it. We have
Make
to.
more cupcakes
I
next
need
time.
it.
Perfect.
Chocolate.
Why didn't we?
The best cupcakes last night. They were so good.
Well, they also had bourbon in them, so that makes everything
really
great.
like that.
Well, my runaway panel, where can we find you on social media?
Hey everyone, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Mina Makes Magic. You can also go to my website, minamakesmagic.com.
Hey guys, you can find me at Real Chae Jones on Twitter and Instagram tomorrow. Also, Runaways at 6, Good Trouble at 8 with Megan over here. And Sundays, Black Monday is getting real, guys.
Y'all can find me at Meagan Lynn TV on Twitter and Instagram. Guys, I love talking about the show. Please hit me up with your theories. I'm so curious.
Definitely. And Brittany, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me at Britt Ishibashi. That's 2 T's on Instagram and Twitter, although I'm not really on Twitter.
Yes. Okay. And I'm Ollie Drennan. Follow me on all social media platforms at Ollie Dreamer, and check me out on the RuPaul's Drag Race after show on Sundays. It's my show, and also this is my show. So we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow with another special guest for episodes 11 and 12. Until then, Runaways, we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.